Asmongold is watching a Joe Rogan clip. I can already feel him saying something extremely stupid. Oh, this is gonna be a lucky one.
US aid thing that's going on. You know, Mike Benz has been on that like a pit bull, and I've been following him on X, and he's going to come back on here and kind of explain everything. But he explained it the last time he was here, and I don't think I really grasped it until Elon's 6 wizards. He brought in some young wizards.
It's just really weird to hear this because, like, I called them wizards too. How is this happening? Yeah, yeah, that's what I called them. Grand.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I used an abbreviation that almost 99% of the population would use for a situation like this, and Joe Rogan said the same thing. Are you kidding me? That is like using an analogy for the word money, and someone says bands instead of money, and you're like, oh my god, I used the same word! What the hell? Is he seriously like, I am on the same wavelength as Joe Rogan. I also called something wizards. Wow. Is this real?
And wizards? Well, to be fair, one of them kind of was.
To go in there and go over the books, and they are just finding crazy shit.
Yeah, that's why, see, you guys don't understand it. But you see all Kanye West tweets, you think that he's going crazy. That's actually his application to join Doge.
Great, and it's so interesting. I was listening to a left-wing podcast today. I like to mix it up. You know, I listen to all kinds of different stuff, and it was like I was listening to a different world. Like, they weren't even talking about all of this corruption and all this obvious buying of influence. Yeah. Instead, they were talking about...
Oh, yeah. What came out yesterday, I think it was on Twitter, the fact that while USAID or whichever organization is supposed to help hurricane victims, flood victims in America and whatnot, they literally said, oh, we have no money to give these people whose house burned down or flooded or whatever. Turns out not even a week ago, they sent almost 60 million to immigrants so they can live in 5-star hotels. A week, not even a week ago. They have no money for Americans whose houses burned down, whose houses got swept away in the floods, whose lives were completely ruined. But some kind of immigrant who most likely is trafficking a kid? You get a 5-star hotel, my man. Absolutely just despicable. Trump literally should just execute these people on the spot, in my humble opinion, which is a complete joke, YouTube.
Aid overseas and how people are going to starve, and like
it's all about emotions. It's about how people feel. Like, there's tons of people starving in Africa,
and
like it's awful, right? It's terrible. It's all about optics. Yeah, it's all about optics and feeling good.
Sending aid to Africa is not about feeling good. Any single person who's not a lunatic knows that any aid you send to Africa is gonna be misappropriated. I mean, Africans don't know where their aid money goes when it gets sent to their governments. How the fuck is anyone else supposed to figure that one out? Sending money to Africa has been for decades now a very well and easy way known to just launder money effectively back to you.
Boggling.
You ever talk to Rogan?
There's also...
I have never spoken to Joe Rogan. As far as I know, he does not know that I exist.
He probably does, though. And I want Joe Rogan Asmongold episode so much. Because Joe Rogan would ask questions, okay? He would. And what is Asmongold gonna do? He's gonna tell like 2 stories about his childhood and his family being complete pieces of shit and not caring about him that he thinks are funny. And after that, there would be nothing. It would be the funniest thing ever, honestly, in my opinion. It would just be such an expose. Joe Rogan asks Asmongold a common question, and Asmongold is like, answers fully. Okay? fully seriously it, and it's like the dumbest shit you have ever heard, and Joe Rogan's sitting there like, it would be great.
Maybe Elon complained to Joe Rogan about me, but I don't even think that happened because it wasn't really
Jesus.
that big of a deal.
Okay, now that is. Hey, at least Pirate Software and Asmongold have one thing in common. Those egos are fucking massive. Imagine. Why the fuck would Elon Musk complain to Joe Rogan about Asmongold? Like, why? Why? Do you think they're like best buddies or something? What? Why? Why?
Go on a
Damn.
show? I would love to
Please.
go on the Joe Rogan
Yes.
show. The probability of Joe Rogan wanting me to be on his show is, I would say, very low.
So I have to say, I'm upset at the general pattern of a failure to recognize how right those of us who hypothesized that there was a racket that had
Obviously.
overtaken our entire government.
I am so sad that my mom isn't alive to see this. Because if she was here, she would be, oh my God. She would be so fucking vindicated, it would be insane. What would she say? I told you, you didn't want to listen. See, you thought I was wrong. How about that, huh? See, what did I say? She was right, she was.
Is that a hot opinion in America?
Governance structure, we turn out to be absolutely right about this, and no one's going to mention it. That's mind-blowing.
It's
No, they don't want to mention.
very strange that the media is ignoring it, especially the left-wing media. It's just too big of a win for the right, and so they're just ignoring it. And then they're just highlighting the good things that USA did, which I'm sure it probably did. Probably had to do some good things to, like, at least.
Oh, yeah, of course US Aid on accident did something good time to time. It's just they have been in business for such a long time. They're going to fail to misappropriate funds time to time and do something good actually for a change.
Justify its existence
To
while
it, as a cover story. I'm not even sure. Maybe it doesn't change anything. Obviously, this was a mechanism used to funnel money to all sorts of things that we didn't vote on, that don't make sense in light of our Constitution.
It's crazy about how everybody talks about how Elon Musk wasn't voted on, but there was like this massive shadow government going on and all this money that's being spent constantly, and I don't think I ever voted on that. I wasn't even aware it was happening.
What?
So how's that go?
Yeah, how does that go? I'm not American and I'm fully aware of that this shit happens. I thought most Americans also were aware of this. I mean, it's right there in front of you. What do you mean? The first time, well, what? Did the first 10 times you heard that America is sending $1 billion to African tribal feminist dancer support not raise any red flags? I mean, what? Did the first 10 times that you heard that were not questionable enough? Did you need more? I'm sorry. How does everyone except America know that this is going on? And Asmongold's here of being oblivious. 10 out of 10.
Institutional structure, and
How does that work?
you know, I obviously have concerns like everybody else about where this train takes us, but seeing that structure broken up it's a huge relief.
They gave $27 million to the George Soros Prosecutor Fund.
Well, I thought he was fucking rich. Can't he fucking pay for it? Really? Like, I mean,
The George Soros Prosecutor Fund, you idiot, not George Soros himself. Oh, I regret my decisions on clicking at this video already. 420, nice, by the way. And Asmongold cannot already understand simple words between George Soros and the George... Man, he probably just doesn't even know who the George Soros prosecutor is. That's the guy who went after Trump, who was backed by George Soros.
this is like if I go out to dinner with people I always pay for it. Like, they don't need to pay for my fucking, like, really?
Of course you pay for it, otherwise no one wants you at the dinner.
It's insane.
So our own government
That's how we got rich.
is funding this left-wing lunatic
Yeah.
who is hiring the most insane prosecutors who are letting people out of jail who commit violent crimes.
And that's exactly how this racket worked, is
Yeah.
that the ability to tax the American public and then effectively get us to pay for being propagandized, for being surveilled, that's the game. And
I think this calls for a new Metal Gear Solid game.
Okay.
I do. You know, we got Snake Eater coming out pretty soon.
I mean, again, probably a lot of you have seen the clip, because this is not even the first time this is mentioned. This has been already a meme in American politics for like now 5 years since this was started being spoken openly of. It is the American industrial weapons comp, the VOD machine, aka how hilariously much corruption and bribery is going on there, and money laundering and all of those good things. And the example of that was Air Force bolts. You know, it's just a bolt that you put on a screw, and that's pretty much it. And it's called an Air Force bolt because it's used by the Air Force. And you are probably thinking, what's the difference between that bolt that the Air Force uses, aka the Air Force bolt, and a normal bolt? Well, nothing. Nothing. They're probably both bought from India. The real difference is that a pack of normal average person bolts costs like, I don't know, $2 USD or something, while the Air Force one costs 90,000. Yeah, that's also a fun one if you did not know, Americans. Yeah, all of your weapons that you are so proud of could be probably built for roughly 1/100 of the cost that the American tax dollars are being paid for. But no, since everything is literally overpriced into the almost millionth percentile, and I'm not even joking here, by the way, everything is super expensive, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
But to be fair and to defend this, because this actually does require a little bit of defending, this is how America has gotten in such a good position in the first place, because of all of these fucking lies. Unironically, these lies have heavily contributed to America's status in the world. Because yeah, sure, maybe you're overpaying 100 or almost 1,000,000% on some kind of bolts and shit, but you are making the illusion of felt and the illusion of quality. So there you go.
Kojima's really got to cook something up for this.
I don't know what era we currently live in. Obviously, there's a lot that's confusing about what the Trump administration is up to.
Confusing, to say the least.
I don't think any reasonable person could be unhappy that we are exiting that era.
I'm going to read off some of the things that this guy, Kaneko the Great,
Well, that assumes that they're reasonable.
on Twitter listed. And this is off the Jesse Water Show. USAID, $20 million for Iraqi Sesame Street. $2 million for Moroccan pottery.
Wait, Sesame Street? Iraqi Sesame Street show? What?
Classes. $11 million to tell Vietnam to stop burning trash. $27 million to give gift bags to illegals.
I fucking love the gift bag shit, by the way.
To give gift bags to tell Vietnam to stop burning trash. $27 million to
$27 million for a gift bag? That's like $6.
Well, there's actually multiple gift bags. But again, this is This is typical government corruption. In America, it's super high. You understand? Like the give back shit is probably almost legit. Now I'm pretty sure whoever the gift bags are being bought from is not some magical relative of someone in the U.S. government. Obviously not. That would be wrong. But they probably are. Obviously. It's the fact that the government is gonna buy those $6 gift bags for $60. That is the reality. What's happening? This is government spending. Yes, Asman, you fucking retard.
How do you do that?
Give gift bags.
How do you
to
not
illegals.
know anything about your country?
It's a lot of
$27 million.
illegals. Yeah.
$330 million to help Afghanis grow crops.
Oh, by the way, Europe also bought retardedly expensive gift bags. I mean, the gift bags are real. At least someone gets them. They're not worth shit, but someone gets them.
Crops. Like crops.
Well, that's probably just having them grow opium for the CIA. We can support
That's an
that.
old
That's
thing.
fine.
Wonder what those crops are. What's
Yeah.
the biggest
No,
crop,
no,
Brett?
That's fine.
It's going to
It's
be
okay.
the poppy seeds for
It's
bagels, I'm thinking.
Opium! $300 million.
Afghanistan at one point was responsible for 90% of the export of opium in the world. Now, admittedly, Mexico has overtaken that, and now the CIA is putting money in Mexico's opioid productions. But good joke.
$200 million on an unused Afghani dam. $250 million on an unused Afghani road. This is
$250 million on a road. On a road.
wild.
I'm gonna have maybe a hot take, but we bombed the fuck out of Afghanistan and we attacked them massively. And yeah, obviously they were
Not the only country America has attacked for no reason. But, American wars are American wars. They're hilarious in the sense that I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure has not been a conflict that America puts itself in where after 10 years you don't have a report that America was actively sabotaging their own troops inside that country. Vietnam with the rifles, Afghanistan with the orders and whatnot. America has always sabotaged their own troops in literally every conflict they have participated in. That's quite the wild thing, by the way. And all of that, by the way, has been purely driven by the weapons industrial complex money.
were like an adversary in a way, but that's even that I'm not as mad about as just paying for random soft power bullshit around the world. I am, because in my opinion, yeah, we fucked them over massively. They deserved it. Oh, come on, not all of them, right? I mean, I guarantee you a bunch of people got killed in Afghanistan that didn't need to get killed. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
I mean, some of this stuff is really, really crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes, and USAID is of course riddled through whatever international madness it is that caused us to open our southern border and facilitate an invasion through the Darien Gap. So, seeing that structure laid bare is it almost feels like it can't be real. It can't have been this close to the surface, and yet here we are.
I think it was one of those hiding in plain sight things, because one of the people was saying that it was on these websites publicly. It's just that nobody really went into it and looked at it. What about Vietnam? I don't know. It's about burning trash, right? I mean, it's not about rebuilding after the war. So you're really kind of comparing apples and oranges there, in my opinion.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
The money goes to rich people in the majority. It's pretty obvious. I think that it's probably that a lot of this money is money laundering. I don't actually think that we spent $50 million to give condoms to Hamas. That's retarded. Does anybody really believe that happened?
Can you even use condoms if you're in Hamas, or is that halal?
It's a funny headline, but did we really spend $50 million on that much in condoms? No way.
Well, 99% of that money probably went to Hillary Clinton for speaking at Goldman Sachs, but that's a different story.
Like, it's fucking money
Somehow, by the way, magically.
laundering.
Again, every single American politician that got into politics, and some magically how, with a $200K a year salary, found themselves having a net worth in the tens of millions after like only a couple of years in U.S. Congress. I'm looking at you, AOC and Bernie, by the way. Should probably be just can't say on YouTube what I want to say, but something Minecraft and skeleton archers.
We're spending, is this number correct? I think the number that I read was $600 million every 2 months to ship in illegals.
Sounds right. I don't know the
Yeah,
number
sounds right.
offhand, but
What the fuck?
well,
Yeah. What, did you not know about Biden literally taking planes and flying them in? And then taking other planes and flying them out through the country? Have you not been paying attention?
you have
Yeah, true.
True.
you have to realize that basically we had
the
a
fuck?
shadow apparatus functioning, and it involves all kinds of things. It involves
To be fair, it's not actually a shadow apparatus. It's like very out there in the public. It's just boring and no one kind of wanted to know anything about it. Because the reality is, what happens when you tell a normal person, hey, America is spending $1 billion every 2 months in flying rapists and illegal people into the country so we can burn it down faster? A normal person would be like, you're insane. Please don't ever speak to my wife or her child ever again. But no.
payoffs to people who didn't deserve them. It involves contracting to entities that were necessary to get the work done. So I don't think we can properly understand what these numbers mean and what they're actually being used for, but it was a racket.
Well, we were always wondering.
I guess that's it. Anyway, that was hilarious. Bye.